Just a little farther. I want to make sure I wasn't followed. I think it is safe for us to talk here. Finally, together we can make Vlasta pay.
Vlasta, your husband. What's this about exactly? You said you have information.
Smuggling. Weapons. Drugs. Whores. You name it, darling. All of it is heading east. I have the address of the locker where everything is stored. And I have the code to get in. You will see for yourself. And then you will do what you think is best.
You want me to shut down your husband's smuggling operation? Why?
I agreed to sell out my husband in exchange for a new life. Vince and I were still negotiating the details. You are looking for Vince, trying to pick up his trail. I guess I am negotiating with you now.
How did you know to trust Vince with all this? What made you believe he can help?
I didn't know. Not for sure. All I knew is that very few are willing to stand up to men like my husband. I had heard that Vince Black was one of those men. But when he didn't show up to our meeting, I don't know what to think of him anymore. I put my faith in you now.
Do you know of any other ways to contact Vince? Or do you know anything that might explain why he didn't show up?
All I know is that Vince wanted information about my husband. And that my husband... Lester knew the name Vince Black. He cursed it often. I believe he feared Vince.
All this sneaking around, exposing your husband's criminal activities? How much danger do you think you're in?
I don't know. I was scared waiting inside that damn club. Paranoid. But I think the worst is over. I'll be out of Prague within the hour and he'll never see me again. Assuming you can pay, of course.
What else do I need to know about your husband?
Lester is like all young Diwali. You cannot argue with them. You cannot intimidate them. You cannot appeal to their heart. All he cares about is delivering on time. And chasing after women who are not his wife.
Is that why you want to get back at him? Because of something he's done to you?
I have no illusions about who I married. I knew he was ambitious, eager to please the wrong kinds of men. But I didn't think he would turn into this monster. I want him to test failure, to have to walk home with his tail between his legs.
If I get involved in this, there's a chance he might not walk home at all.
What you do with the information I sell you is up to you. All I care about now is starting over.
Alright, this information you have, how much do you want for it?
The price of a ticket to Berlin, with enough left over to start my new life. That is what Vince and I had agreed. They say Berlin is a good city for those wanting to be lost.
Here, this should be enough to get you out of here.
All right. Thank you. My husband owns a storage locker next to the Palisade Bank. The code is 2565. It is the centerpiece of his operation. I hope you find what you're looking for. Why not give up?
Delara, that Diwali op Vince was digging into? I've got the address of a smuggling locker he was looking for.
Huh, maybe he's still looking. Or maybe he found it some other way. This information, you came by it how exactly?
The informant Vince was supposed to meet. She agreed to work with me instead.
That doesn't surprise me. You're good at gaining people's trust, Adam. It's a rare skill.
Point is, I got a lead. I'll let you know what I find.
Despite all the bad,
See what they did to her?
Why are we drawn to such? So you need She was an augmented journalist, one of the few moderate voices.
Do me a favor, eh? Please pretend to look for evidence.
You don't think he did it?
I do think he did, but I also should at least try. Orders are orders. Orders are orders.
This doesn't concern you.
I do think he did.
I recognize you. We're neighbors. I've seen you in our building. You're very difficult to miss. By chance, did someone send you to investigate?
No, no one sent me. What happened here?
It's horrible. An augmented woman was killed, just outside of where we live. She looks like she was my age.
Do you have any idea who she was?
No, I've never seen her before. It's so sad that nothing will be done about this. Orc victims are not high on the list of police priorities. To them, it's like a dog lying in the street. You're not a cop, are you?
I work with someone else, another agency.
That's perfect. You outrank the police?
Depends who you ask.
The detective here, he's not willing. I got the feeling he doesn't care.
What about you? What's your interest in all this? Morbid curiosity?
Oh, no. I want nothing more than to go home. Detective Montag, he's making me stay. He thinks I saw something.
Did you see something?
Maybe. I think I would rather not say, to be honest. Because if I had seen something, and if I started talking about it, wouldn't that put me in danger?
You might already be in danger. Killer might see you as a loose end.
What?
Might already be waiting to get you alone.
Please, stop!
The point I'm trying to make is, if you saw something, you should tell the police. The more you can remember, the better the odds of the killer getting caught.
I know. It's just that I don't trust the police. I would feel safer with someone like you. You have more reason to be invested in this than they do. You're augmented, like the victim was. And you look like you could actually protect me.
It's not my case.
But maybe you could help. Please, neighbor. Talk to Detective Montag. At least see how it's going. Make sure he doesn't think he's on vacation just because the victim is an orc.
I'll talk to the officer in charge and see where he is with the investigation. If I can help him, I will.
Thank you.
Suppose I end up remembering something later. Is there a way for me to contact you?
You planning to run off on me already?
The first chance I get. There are times for standing in the cold, but this isn't one of them. I just want to go home, bolt the door, and never come out again. Of course, I will wait for Detective Montag to say it's okay first. And I'll still try to answer whatever questions you may have.
I can give you access to my info link. You should feel free to use it if you have to.
Thank you, neighbor. Talk to you about what happened.
How come she talks to him and not to me?
Well, that is interesting.
You want me to keep giving you updates every few minutes?
Yeah, thought as much. So, Daria was actually talking to you, huh? I could barely get 2 words out of her. What did she say? Did she see anything?
You mean your witness over there? She's not sure yet.
How can she not be sure? Either she saw something or she didn't.
She's scared. She thinks she might be in danger. I told her she'll be fine and that whoever did this would be caught. I'd like to believe that's true.
Sure, so would I. But as you can see, the victim was like you, augmented. That makes things a little more complicated, eh? Being a cop in this city, it's not always about doing the right thing, or about doing things the right way.
I was a cop for 12 years. I know all about getting bad orders. The difference between what you're told to do and what you know is right.
Tell me about it. So, how did you reconcile yourself with those kinds of orders?
I quit.
I'm 2 months away from the beach. I'm not quitting. But I respect your idealism.
It was a long time ago. I work for Interpol now.
Interpol, huh? Listen, off the record, I've been told to forego any unnecessary investigation. I want you to know, it's not my idea of how things should be done.
Who told you to forego the investigation?
Men who spend more time making policies than arrests. They want the victim's husband, Johnny Gunn, ex-PMC operative. Heavily augmented.
All right. So if you're not comfortable with this, if you know things aren't being handled the way they should, why not do something about it?
I thought I just did. Just because my hands are tied doesn't mean Interpol can't conduct a parallel investigation. Crime scene's right over there, and Johnny lives just a couple of blocks from here.
I never said I was gonna work your case for you.
Sure you did. Isn't that more or less the promise you made your little friend over there? She won't talk to a cop because she doesn't trust us. Smart girl. Look, my orders are to arrest the husband. You take a look around. Get to Johnny before my guys do. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually learn something.
I'll let you know what I find.
Careful of the...
Interpol. Who do they think they are?
Just because Montag trusts him doesn't mean I... Fuck what?
Didn't think so.
Found something.
Away from the crimes.
Pretty obvious what happened here.
Are you a journalist?
No, but he was. She had enemies.
Away from the crimes, sir.
Tabloids write that shit in some columns. It's always.
Continuing this conversation is over a beer.
Once upon a time, I could have shoved newspapers out the window. Another reason to hate technology. Just keep moving. Keep the blood pumping.
Fuck, Cody.
Don't know what's going
Gruesome, isn't it? I can't look away. I can't look away.
Can't believe we got stuck down here.
It's your turn to buy the car.
You want me to keep giving you updates every few minutes?
Didn't think so.
Montag, I don't need your help.
Got nothing else to say.
Uh-huh.
Remove yourself from this area.
You have a permit for that?
Who'd you piss off to pull this duty?
Yeah, thought as much.
Something is going to push them. To attacking us.
Enjoying yourself, detective.
Alright, I have some questions about the murder.
Before we go any further with this I need you to know something about Johnny Gunn. He's not a good man. I may not like how my bosses are targeting him, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. So, you know, just make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Why else would I be here?
I don't want this to turn into some kind of crusade. Bad men do bad things. In a perfect world, we arrest them for the right reasons, but, well, the world's not always perfect.
You'll only arrest the victim's husband if the evidence tells you to, right? It's not enough that he's an AUG, and that your bosses want him to go down.
I'll hold my guys off for as long as I can. But unless you can prove someone else killed Angela, or at the very least that Johnny didn't, I don't have much choice. That's why I'm trusting you to talk to him. Give me your honest opinion on what happened here.
Yeah. Why are you trusting me exactly?
Because you gave me the impression of being qualified. Because I'm big enough to admit that maybe I can use the help, and between you and me, because the thought of confronting a man like Johnny Gunn scares the shit out of me.
How long have you been a cop?
Too long. And of all the ways to go out, eh?
What do you mean?
I mean being assigned a case like this. It's HQ's little joke before sending me off to retirement. Oh, but don't worry about me, eh? I'm a survivor. I can make it through this.
This case is a joke to you?
I didn't say that. I said it's a joke to HQ. They know I haven't left my desk in years. But that doesn't mean I'm not qualified. Just a little rusty.
People hold a hell of a grudge against AUGs, ever since the incident.
Yes, and?
Well, good thing the cops here are such professionals. Part of being a police officer is treating everyone the same, right? AUG or no AUG.
It's not that simple, and you know it. A police force isn't some abstract ideal of what justice and law should be. It's an instrument of those in power. A reflection of the society it protects.
I haven't been seeing a whole lot of protection out there.
Well, that depends who you ask.
I'm here because I don't like the idea of someone killing people right outside my window. Maybe he's out there right now, targeting that poor witness. Or maybe he's just looking for any chance to do it again.
Fair enough, Mr. Interpol.
Do you know if the victim had any enemies?
I know she and Johnny didn't get along. Other than that, I really couldn't tell you.
Tell me about the victim's husband, Johnny.
He used to work for a private military company, Bell Tower. He's been arrested for all sorts of things in the past. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in evidence. But I also believe in playing the odds. 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
Why are your superiors so eager to pin Johnny for murder? It's gotta be more than just not liking the guy.
Standard policy for guys like Johnny. The way they see it, you send a man like him into Golem City, and he's liable to go off the grid, end up with Ark or God knows who. He becomes 10 times more trouble than he's worth. But if they can charge him with something big, something like murder, well, suddenly he's no trouble at all.
Anything I should know about the scene? Anything jump out at you?
The dismembered body jumps out at me. Keep in mind, I've been behind a desk for the last 12 years. It all...
I found this press...
Okay, enlighten me. We care about this. Why?
Angela Gunn was a journalist. Maybe this is work-related. Maybe she uncovered something she wasn't supposed to.
Maybe. I don't know.
I found what looks like a grenade fragment. EMP by the looks of it. Killer might have used this to incapacitate her.
Interesting. Johnny wouldn't need an EMP to take down his wife. Riot police use EMPs to re-establish public order around here. With all the AUG riots, anti-AUG riots, it wouldn't surprise me if that's all it was. Still, interesting.
I found this piece of glass near the body. A pair of broken glasses, maybe?
I don't know what to tell you. We're in the back alley of a major city. There's bound to be broken glass.
Did the killer leave anything behind? Does anything strike you as odd?
I don't know. It's a murder, you know? Doesn't matter if you look at it side.
I found a broken needle stuck in the victim's shoulder. The killer might have drugged Angela before killing her.
Maybe. But keep in mind, she was an AUG. Don't you all have to shoot up that new buzz shit? Let's go for the obvious before jumping to any wild conclusions.
I'm assuming you know her augments were harvested. The marks on her body make it seem like the killer knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what he wanted.
The way you said that just now.
What about it?
The way you described the AUG removal. And before, you mentioned a broken needle in the right shoulder?
That's right.
It reminds me, you know. There was this cop, Smolinski. He used to work in this neighborhood. He had this theory about a copycat. Someone acting just like a dead killer named, Svobodka.
You think there's a connection to another case?
I don't know yet. But I remember him mentioning something about needles and AUG removal. Smolinski died in the police station bombing. Whatever files he had would have been moved into temp storage, across the street from the bombed-out station. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing.
I found a print on Angela's neck, next to the contusion marks. It's a partial, so I don't think we can match it to anything. But at least we know the killer left something, and that she was strangled.
Huh, a fingerprint. I must have missed that one. This is exactly the kind of evidence I'm talking about. No way Johnny could squirm his way out of something like that. If only we could link it to him.
Any new information?
No, nothing more than what you've told me.
Were you able to get anything out of the witness? Sounded...
Who? Little Miss Mousy? I was under the impression Daria was your domain.
I want to help you with this.
Help me, huh? You...
I mean, like making sure we catch whoever's responsible.
Right. Well, I have a dead body, Angela Gunn.
I have what I need for...
Don't forget to question Daria. I don't want to...
Interpol. Who did... I think they are.
I have some questions for you.
I will cooperate. You have...
What were you doing here?
I was looking for Starlight, my cat. There was lightning and suddenly this flash of certainty. That's when I knew something awful was happening.
Where were you exactly?
In the shadows. My head was down. I couldn't move. Oh God, stupid Daria. I shouldn't have gone out today. The energies were all wrong.
Is there anything else I should know about you?
You want to know about Daria? What is there to tell? Small town girl came to the big city to escape her problems, to try and become someone else.
Did it work?
Not really. You can't escape yourself. You can't just come to a big city and expect all your problems to seem smaller. It doesn't work that way.
How did the attack happen? What was the killer doing?
He was on top of her, gutting the evil out. That's what he called it. I mean, I think.
So you heard his voice?
Very clearly, yes. He sounded confident, authoritarian, like a general commanding troops.
What did he say exactly?
It is time to make you whole again.
Can you remember anything about what the killer looks like?
To be honest, I saw more of the shadow than the man. I remember he was very big. The shadow, it covered everything.
So you can't describe him?
Not the face, no. His clothes, he was wearing something very dark, black, maybe blue.
Was he augmented?
He moved like an augmented man, but I can't say for sure.
Why is it you don't trust the police to take care of them?
I have bad memories of the police.
What kind of memories?
Get calls I didn't want, tickets I didn't deserve. The policemen here are worse than children. Former captains of high school sports teams who will never recapture their years of glory.
I was captain of the debate team in high school.
Yes, well, debate is different.
What's your take on Montag? You ever meet him before?
I went to the station once, years ago, to complain about the ticket. Detective Montag is the one they send you to handle the paperwork.
How'd he do?
He did fine. The point is, he's a desk jockey. Look at him, he's lost out here. The cops who know how to catch killers, they're not the ones sent to investigate murdered ox.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Good luck.
Fuck what he You're joking.
In crawling.
Hide your madness. You got a metal man. I see.
Ben, did you hear Lazarus is late? He said the Illuminati would have treated
A dog like that.
Můžu uvěřit, že trčíme tady. Připadá mi, jako by se město pod tím tlakem hroutilo.
Well, take care of it.
Narušujete pořádek, občane. Tohle není vaše, občané. Nechte to být. Jdu tam!
Očekává se, že na seznam poboček přibude Ostrava, Olomouc.
Ben, did you hear Lazarus is late? He said the Illuminati.
They'll quit, that's all.
Okay, bye.
Užíváte si vyhlídku? Něco je donutí na nás zaútočit.
I'll let you know if I see anything.
Quiet. You want to go for a drink tonight?
Who else will take care of it?
Ježiš.
No disturbances.
Wouldn't treat a dog like that.
Oh, what if you hand there? Fuck, try something.
You hear that? Trouble is coming.
You should hear my ticket for the month.
Copy that. Who listens to that garbage? What today? Baby.
Open all night. The red light.
I could use it.
Well,
Yeah,
well.
get to work.
Somebody call.
You see the way he was giving me the eyeball earlier?
What parts are control? These blue cheese. They always seem to come out smelling like a... Take it out.
Where are you going?
Information archived within the walls of Palace. It's beyond the legal jurisdiction of any government.
Did you bring anything to drink? You bust into a man's home, you should at least bring a drink.
Are you Johnny Gunn?
That's right. What do you want?
Have you heard about your wife?
Which one?
Excuse me?
I've been married a bunch of times. Which wife are we talking about?
The dead one. The one whose body they found torn apart by some animal.
She has a name, you know. Angie to those who knew her, Angela to you.
So you did know already?
Your detective friend called, told me to sit tight and wait for you, so here I am, sitting tight, being cooperative.
You don't seem too broken up about Angela's death. She was your wife, wasn't she?
Ex-wife. We were divorced.
Is that supposed to explain why you don't care?
People die. Whether or not I care is between me and my memories of them. It's got nothing to do with you.
Unequivocally false. The goal of the legislation is to ensure that they are as safe from us as we are from them. I'm not augmented, but I have many friends who are.
You could still show some respect for the dead.
You've misinterpreted something. Angie's not the one I mean to be disrespectful to. You are. How I react to my ex-wife murder in front of you, the man accusing me of it, and how I react later when I'm alone, are two different things.
So the moment I leave, you're gonna start grieving, is that it?
Maybe. It's between me and Angela.
Is that a bell tower patch on your jacket?
Yeah, so?
Let's just say I'm familiar with bell tower.
What does that mean? Familiar how?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just that I dealt with the company a while back, that's all.
Really? You know, you look familiar. We didn't work together, did we? Did you know Girardelli? Or maybe Powell?
No, I doubt I knew them personally.
That's too bad. We were all in New South Wales together. I thought maybe you... Never mind. And they're all doing fine now. Relatively.
Australia? You were there during the Civil War?
That's right. And that was only the beginning. Not my first choice, believe me, but, Bell Tower wasn't all that big on choice. Send you where they want, make you do what they want, replace parts of you whenever and however they want.
I didn't choose to be augmented either. Not when it first happened.
Apparently we're supposed to be grateful. Alloy's so much better than skin, right? At least, that's how they sold it to me.
For some things it is. Not for everything.
I can walk through fire, but sand won't stick between my toes. I can shove a knife through my hand, but I can't trust what I feel. Even my dreams are made of alloy.
Both of your hands are made of alloy?
Fingers are for human beings, Mr. Gunn. What you have is so much greater.
And then they told me what they wanted me to do, and what would happen to me if I didn't. Well, let me tell you something. It's not me anymore. Hasn't been for a very long time.
They found a partial print on Angela's neck. Belongs to whoever strangled her.
My hands were designed to kill in wars no one's ever heard of. I couldn't leave a trace on someone's skin, even if I wanted to.
They did it so you can kill better.
So I'd never get caught. Ironic, right? Being a good killer is probably what saves me here. Or, you still think I killed Angela?
I'm sorry for what Bell Tower did to you.
Don't be. They gave me tools they wanted me to have. That it was in their interest for me to have. But the decision to use them, that was all me. Now, if you don't mind, I'd very much like to be left alone.
In Chile, they can the electronic voting system.
You'd steal from me?
Need more beer. 10 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer.
Tomorrow.
If there's tomorrow.
Exclusivity, anonymity, security. Save Property Bank have made addressing those concerns priority one. Information archived within the walls of Palisade Property.
Beer on the wall. Beer.
When it is best. And it's a pleasure to speak with you too, Eliza. Listen, I know opponents are saying the Human Restoration Act is a step back.
You got me mixed up with someone else. Happens all the time.
The dog incident threw everything off the rails. Since then, the rift between augmented and natural has gotten so wide, so
Take one down, pass it around.
Temporary
Something.
separation of the classes, so we can clear the air and reevaluate how we can coexist peacefully.
So the sentiment that is... Then, Doctor?
If you don't mind,
Unequivocally false.
I'd like to be alone.
The goal of the legislation is to ensure that they are as safe from us as we are from them. Not on
Need more beer. 99 bottles. I could use.
Nemůžu se dočkat.
Nice outfit for you, I suppose, when there's no point doing this job. No idea.
It's all right here.
Haven't we got
I've got it all here.
Yet?
Anything. Cheap, expensive, imported, exported, whatever. Ah, why am I wasting my time with you? You Ogs never spend.
So you found the bomb maker. Linked everything to Ark.
Not exactly.
Jesus, Jensen.
We did find the bomb maker. Allison Stanek, a local resident. We have her in custody now. But she told me she'd made dozens more bombs before we arrested her. And she delivered them to Viktor Marchenko.
So it was Ark.
Something more is going on here, Miller. Have you had a chance to backtrace the pocket secretary I gave you?
Not yet, but I will, when I get back to the office.
Good. Because Stanek also told me that Marchenko has a base of operations in the Swiss Alps. A research facility called GARM. That sound like something Ark has the resources for to you?
I'll contact McCready. Get him and a few analysts to work up a plan.
We need to move on this now. Chicane and I can fly there and back, get a lay of the land, while Mac and his team do the research.
Really? Got it all figured out in that clockwork head of yours. Oh, what the hell? I'm in.
You got enough fuel to get to Switzerland?
To get us there, sure.
Fine. Do it. But this is recon only. Do not engage. Contact me the minute you have something.
Yes, sir.
You've proven yourself so far on this one, Jensen. Don't screw it up.
Copy that. Miller's not used to giving compliments, is he?
He's getting static from the brass. They're starting to riot in Gollum over that shit with Rucker. I'm sure he doesn't blame you. Much. Anymore.
And what do you think?
I think tracking that bomb maker was some fine work. If the intel you got from her stands true, Gollum City will be the least of our problems. So what do you say we go find out how deep in it we are, right? You all set?
Not quite. Let me take care of some things first.
You know where I'll be.
Classified corporate documents causing several forged items.
You can't dispute taste, I suppose.
Let's see your permit, Og.
Of course, officer.
One moment. Transmitting ID scan. Got it. Everything checks out. You're free to go.
me like I am not a sick...
Well, look at this. We have a real shiny one here. What you got hiding in those arms, Clank?
This should cover the basics.
Keep your hands where you can keep them. 847? Kurva. What the fuck are you? Some kind of a super soldier?
What I am is in a hurry.
Yes. Yes, I bet you are. Go ahead, you're clear.
Nothing new.
Let them deal with it themselves.
It makes me scared to leave my home.
By the way, I told Daria to go home. I really don't think she saw anything.
I think I'm finally ready to shed some light on Angela Gunn's murder.
That's good news. My boss...
Actually, there's something I need to check first. I don't want to accuse the wrong man.
Don't overthink it. Enjoying yourself,
Let's talk about...
All right.
I think I might have...
Let me...
I spoke to Daria. She's able to confirm that the suspect is male.
Yeah, well, can't blame her.
I think I'm finally ready to...
That's good news.
The truth is, we're not even close. Not yet.
Why do you say that? What about Johnny? The more I think about all this, the more I can't shake the feeling. Johnny Gunn killed his wife.
This was the work of a harvester copycat. This isn't some domestic dispute gone horribly wrong. It's part of something bigger. Someone's out there pretending to be a dead serial killer.
I see you looked into that old case I pointed you toward.
The MO is a perfect match. I read the notes and I compared them to this murder. The two victims were killed by the same person, I'm sure of it.
All right. Let's say that's true. That doesn't necessarily exclude Johnny. It just means he's killed more than one person.
I'm just telling you what I found.
No, you're interpreting what you found. Trying to sway my opinion. But if you really want to convince me of something, you need to keep talking.
Remember that partial print I found on the victim's throat?
What about it?
Johnny Gunn hasn't had fingerprints since the Australian Civil War. His hands are made of alloy. If he had strangled her, he wouldn't have left a smudge.
Alloy, huh? Shit. So, where does that leave us exactly?
We followed the evidence we had. This is where it led us.
You mean nowhere?
I'm not sure exactly. I think a lot of the pieces are there. They're just not ready to be put together. Not yet.
All right. That should be enough for me to get the rope off Johnny's neck. But it doesn't help me solve anything, does it? I mean, unless we learn more, there's no one I can drag in for this.
Let's just hope learning more doesn't mean having to meet over another dead body.
Hey, rookie! Get over here! It's time to wrap this up. All right. Let's call it a night. Get someone...